Brace yourselves, folks, because Westminster has erupted into a political firestorm. Kemi Badenoch, the newly minted Conservative leader, has just put Prime Minister Keir Starmer in the hot seat over Foreign Secretary David Lammy's shocking past comments about none other than the newly re-elected US President Donald Trump. Badenoch's question in PMQs was brutal and direct, demanding that Starmer or Lammy apologise for calling Trump a neo-Nazi sympathising sociopath. Did Starmer come clean, or did he dance around the issue? You're about to see it all unfold here in a clip that's taking the internet by storm.
And so I would like to start by congratulating President-elect Trump on his impressive victory this morning. The Prime Minister and the Foreign Secretary met him in September. Did the Foreign Secretary take that opportunity to apologise for making derogatory and scatological references, including, and I quote, "Trump is not only a woman-hating, neo-Nazi sympathising sociopath, he is also a profound threat to the international order"? And if he did not apologise, will the Prime Minister do so now on his behalf?
But if you think that clip was intense, hold tight, because this political showdown is only getting started. Starmer's refusal to address the issue head-on is sparking a wave of controversy, and questions are building about the future of the UK's special relationship with the US under Trump's new administration. The fireworks began with Kemi Badenoch's no-holds-barred question. She wanted answers on whether Keir Starmer would apologise for his Foreign Secretary's highly inflammatory remarks. Will the Prime Minister or his Foreign Secretary apologise for calling the President of the United States a neo-Nazi sympathising sociopath? Badenoch shot across the chamber. She didn't hold back in citing Lammy's 2018 article where he called Trump a tyrant in a toupee and a threat to Western progress. Now that Trump is back in office, those words aren't just echoes from the past. They're sparking fresh concerns over how Britain plans to handle its relationship with Trump's America. Starmer's response? The Prime Minister sidestepped the call for an apology, stating that his recent dinner with Trump had been constructive and dodging any further comment on Lammy's past words. But if Starmer hoped to put the issue to bed, his vague response did just the opposite, igniting murmurs and jeers across the Commons. Labour MPs looked increasingly uneasy, while Tory members demanded a real answer from the PM. With Lammy's words under the spotlight, Starmer's attempt to brush past the controversy has left even some of his own party members visibly uneasy. And the story doesn't end there. Downing Street has since doubled down, issuing a statement that David Lammy will retain his position as Foreign Secretary until the next election. The decision sparked immediate backlash from Conservative MPs, who argue that Lammy's past statements could do serious damage to the UK's alliance with the US Tory members, alongside some British diplomats, have openly questioned whether Lammy's past views on Trump make him the right figure to lead Britain's foreign affairs. Outside the bubble of Westminster, the public reaction has been equally split. A flash YouGov poll shows a large share of British voters are wary of Trump's return, a sentiment that matches Lammy's outspoken opposition during Trump's first state visit. Yet many are now asking if Starmer's government can truly build an effective partnership with a leader they've called tyrannical. Labour's approach to managing the special relationship appears fragile, and as Starmer tries to smooth things over, even his supporters are beginning to question if he's the right leader for this moment. Away from the heated political debates of Westminster, a tragic story is capturing headlines and sparking urgent questions about Labour's tax policies. John Charlesworth, a lifelong farmer from South Yorkshire, tragically took his own life after becoming overwhelmed with fear over Labour's proposed inheritance tax policies. In an emotional interview, his son, Jonathan, spoke to GB News, sharing his father's anguish over the possibility of losing the family farm, a legacy passed down through generations. In his interview, Jonathan recalled that inheritance tax had become an overwhelming fear for his father. Every conversation we had over the last few weeks was about it, he revealed, how the budget might mean we'd lose the farm to taxes. According to Jonathan, his father's biggest worry was that the family farm, his life's work, would be seized by the state. He saved and sacrificed all his life to build something he could leave behind for us, Jonathan said. The interview has triggered an outpouring of sympathy and outrage from the British public, with many questioning whether Labour's tax policies are pushing hard-working families like the Charlesworths to the brink. Jonathan explained his father's lifelong dedication to the farm. He worked from dawn to dusk, barely ever took a holiday, he said. He wanted to build something for us, to leave a legacy. But alongside his mother's battle with severe dementia, the constant dread of inheritance tax hikes had weighed heavily on the elder Charlesworth. Jonathan believes it was the final straw. Back in Westminster, Conservative MPs are seizing on the tragic story, with many arguing that John Charlesworth's death is an indictment of Labour's tax policies. Calls are mounting for Labour to reconsider its approach to inheritance tax on family farms, with critics arguing that the proposed policy is more than just numbers on a page. It's affecting real lives, with devastating consequences. Tory backbenchers have demanded an urgent debate on the human cost of inheritance tax, hoping to press Keir Starmer and Chancellor Rachel Reeves to address the story of John Charlesworth and others like him directly. Chancellor Reeves has defended the policy, claiming that Labour's plan will create a fairer system that generates revenue for essential services. But the outcry from rural communities is growing louder. GB News has dedicated segments to the story, with journalists and political analysts questioning whether Labour's policies are inadvertently tearing apart the very communities they claim to support. Farmers, small business owners, and families across the UK are anxiously watching, fearing that John Charlesworth's tragic story could one day be theirs. Despite these controversies, Starmer has maintained a carefully measured tone on the world stage. Following Trump's re-election, he made a point of reaching out with a fond, congratulatory phone call, aiming to reinforce the importance of the special relationship. The PM's office stated that the leaders looked forward to working together on issues like Middle Eastern stability and defence. Yet, given Lamy's past remarks, many are sceptical of the sincerity behind this outreach. Trump's team reportedly remains wary of Labour's stance, having previously labelled it far left. Adding fuel to the fire, Starmer's attempt at diplomacy is being met with mockery online. Social media has erupted with ridicule as many users call out Starmer's sudden shift from criticism to congratulations. Commentators have openly questioned his sincerity, with one tweet remarking, "First, they protest him, then they want to toast him." Lamy himself has attempted to soften his past remarks, claiming that everyone had something to say about Trump back then. He insists he's been working to find common ground with Trump allies like Vice President J.D. Vance. But many are finding this newfound common ground a little too convenient, raising doubts about whether the Foreign Secretary's reconciliatory stance is more about politics than principle. If you think these two crises are the end of it, get ready. This story is only unfolding, and we're here to bring you every twist and turn. The fallout from David Lamy's past comments and the heartbreaking Charlesworth family tragedy are reshaping British politics, and it's only going to get more intense. Subscribe, hit that like button, and stay with us as we track every dramatic development in this unfolding saga.